The shortcuts for all of these are basically the starting letter except for opacity. So if I want to see position, I just hit P with the layer selected. If I want to show scale, I just hit S. If I want to show more than just one thing at a time, so I've got scale at the moment, if I wanted to show position as well, I just hold Shift and then I hit P, and then it shows the other one. If I want to animate the properties on a layer that I've put in, I'll put a keyframe on that position by hitting the stopwatch. So now I have a keyframe on that layer just by hitting that button. And if I know that I want to animate the position and scale of this solid, I would toggle both those keyframes. And then I would either go forward or back depending which way you want to animate from there. So now if I toggle that away, I can't see that I have any animation happening at the moment. There's no timeline visible except for just the solids being visible. The easiest way to see everything that you've done, all the hard work you've put into your animation, is to select all the layers you want, either by hitting Control A or selecting the layers. And then the shortcut that I use is U. And that's the most important shortcut in After Effects to learn because it shows all of your work. And I'll show you in a more complex scenario. So this is like obviously a much more complicated animation. So I've got left to right, I've got my layers, I've got some that are on, some that are off until it gets to here. All my keyframes are hidden. If I select all of them and then hit U, I can see all my keyframes. So they're all the keyframes inside of this folder. Yeah, it is important to learn the shortcuts. And now that I'm inside of this composition, I'll show you my next favorite shortcut, which is the one that will save you from getting lost. So you can see here that there's quite a few things happening, but going back to what I said, you can put folders inside of folders. So this is a composition, but each one of these, and you can see the little icon here, they're actually separate compositions. So they're compositions inside of compositions. It's sort of like in Photoshop how you can group layers together. So think of these as groups. To go inside of these groups, I just literally double click. The next shortcut that I want to teach you guys is Tab. So if you just press Tab, this is a flowchart of where you are inside of your project. So you can do that anywhere on screen you like. You can hit Tab wherever you are. It's like a little shortcut that just comes up and it shows you where you're at. And what it does that I think is very cool is it shows you that I'm in a composition that I've called To Yellow Comp 1. And it's inside of composition 1. And I've also got this other composition here, which is To Yellow, that I can go back and forth in. So instead of double clicking on this one to go inside, I can just hit Tab and I can click on that button there and it goes into it. Same thing going back. So if I go back, I can actually go back, 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 and I can go into the master composition just like that. So instead of running through here, and this is why like this looks really messy over here, and it's just like, God, that I don't know what's what over here. So if you come into a composition, you can click in any of them and then you know exactly where you are, because you can then start going inside and you can go back. You can always find the final composition, or your master composition if you will, just by doing that.